What's up, everyone, and welcome back to the Fit Boss channel. My name is Coach Ruben Brooks, and the topic of today's video is your ego will keep you fat and broke. And the worst part, you won't even notice it's happening until it's too late. Back when I was a personal trainer, I had this lady inquire about my services. She said her goal was to lose about 20 pounds. She had a family history of diabetes, and she also knew that the type of diabetes that she had could completely be preventable through proper diet and exercise. So we scheduled a 9 o'clock meeting. She was promptly on time. We greeted each other and walked on the treadmill for a little bit so that I could catch up with her before entering the rest of the workout. As a personal trainer, this is my opportunity where I got to build rapport with my clients, learn a little bit about them, where they're from, what their goals are, what their challenges are, and also how active they are. She mentioned that she lives a pretty active lifestyle. She works out around 4 times per week. She's had her gym membership for over 5 years now, but has had the hardest time losing the last 20 pounds. Whenever I have a client come in, I usually give them a free personal training session just to get them in the door. Then I give them a kick-ass workout, a workout so good that they definitely want to come back. And then for the last 15 minutes, I usually take them to the back, share a little bit more about my program, present the prices to them, and then move forward after that. Now, this was a client that could afford my services. And as a matter of fact, she said that this price was exactly in my price range, but I actually want to give it one last try, one last go by myself before I hired a trainer. And my first thought in my mind was, ma'am, you had 5 years to lose 20 pounds and you still haven't done it. I didn't tell her that, by the way. That was just in my mind. And back then, I didn't objection handle that well or as much as I should have. So I said, okay, no worries. Give it a try. And if you change your mind or need the additional help, you know how to find me. Here's my cell. Text me when you're ready. And then I wished her well. 1 year later, she texted me. I invited her back to the gym. Once again, she was promptly on time in the same car, but this time she was 20 pounds heavier. I even had a hard time recognizing her as she got out the car. We got back on the treadmill once again, and we started to catch up a little bit. She told me that she went through some hard times. She started to binge eat. She started to drink a little bit more on the weekends, and everything just started to compound, and it all caught up to her. The doctor told her that she has high blood pressure and she is also pre-diabetic. She had 6 months to lose 20 pounds before the doctor put her on medication. Now, most of you don't know this about me, but my dad passed away when I was 22 years old from health complications stemming from diabetes. That was 100% preventable. However, from my experience of my father passing away, and also from my experience of being a trainer for over a decade, I've realized that I will only help people that will participate in their own rescue. If you're not actively participating in your own rescue, then I'm not going to give you my energy. That's just kind of how it is at this point. And what I found is that some people just aren't ready to take ownership of their actions, and they're not ready to sacrifice what's needed to get the results. And if you don't sacrifice for your goals, then your goals becomes the sacrifice. This also reminds me of another story of a fitness coach who reached out to FitBoss, our coaching company, for some help with his business, right? And when we opened up his notes to take notes for the call, we realized that he already had notes in his folder, and the notes were exactly from 1 year ago. But this time he had less money in his bank account, and he also needed our services more than ever at this point. He was a great coach. He had great branding, a great communicator. He was posting attraction pieces of content, posting converting pieces of content, But what was missing on his page was a marketing strategy and also a sales process. And when we asked how come he didn't sign up for our coaching program over a year ago, in his words, verbatim, he said his ego got in the way. And would you guess what happened next? After we got to the end, and he said that this is exactly what he needed and he should have bought a whole year ago, he told us that he couldn't afford the program anymore. Well, his ego also left him broke. After hearing these two stories, the question that comes to mind is, what has doing it alone really cost you? Right? In time, in effort, in health, right? In freedom. You want to think about the things that you could have had too. You could have had more money in your account. You could have been leaner, right? Just because you want to do it alone. And if nothing changes within 90 days, where do you think you're going to be at? How much longer are you willing to delay the life that you actually want? And are you acting from your ego or your future self? The truth is, with these two stories, is that both people waited until they didn't have the luxury of waiting anymore. They were forced to take action, right? With the girl, she was forced to take action before she was put on medication. With the guy, he had to take action. He had to do something or else he couldn't get his rent paid. And I get it. I'm a man that has an ego, but asking for help, that's usually not that easy, especially when you're the one that usually has the answers. But I need to be real with you. Your pride is delaying your progress. And deep down, you know that you should be further along because you're working too hard for the results that you're getting. If nothing changes and we talk again 1 year later from now, will you be proud of where you're at today? Or would you say the same thing my client said and he let his ego get in the way? Listen, if you're ready to drop the ego and pick up a strategy, I'm here. You're literally a few clicks away from turning the ship around. Don't wait until the doctor tells you that you need to be on medication. Don't wait until your back is up against the wall and you don't know how to afford rent this upcoming month. Don't wait. You need to take action today because one conversation can change everything for you. Down beneath this video is a link to my free masterclass training. In that masterclass, I lay out the complete blueprint. I teach you everything that you need to know to become a successful online fitness coach. After you've watched that video, you'll have an opportunity to schedule a call with myself and our team. If you feel like it's a good fit, schedule a call with us because on the call, we'll learn more about your goals and more about your challenges and actually give you a roadmap from where you're at to where you want to be at. The training is linked below. And just remember that you're one conversation away from changing everything, from changing your complete trajectory of your life. That's it for this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe and check out the free training down below. See you next week. Peace.